Welcome back to Narrations. Tonight's story is about love, messy, stubborn, unconditional love, and the lengths one man will go to stay close to his children. It's about laughter through tears, the ache of growing up, and the realization that family doesn't end just because circumstances change. This is Mrs. Doubtfire, 1993, a story that reminds us that sometimes, the hardest part of love is learning to let go. It begins with Daniel Hillard, a man who never quite grew up. He's a talented voice actor in San Francisco, funny, creative, and endlessly imaginative, but also irresponsible, impulsive, and hopelessly unreliable. He's the kind of father who throws a birthday party for his son with a petting zoo inside the house, complete with farm animals, cake explosions, and neighbors calling the police. His wife, Miranda, has had enough. She's ambitious, practical, and exhausted by Daniel's chaos. She loves him, but she can't depend on him. Their marriage has been fraying for years. Little arguments, big silences, too many broken promises. That night, after the party disaster, Miranda says the words that change everything. "I want a divorce." Daniel freezes. He laughs it off at first, thinking it's just another fight. But when Miranda packs a bag and tells him she means it, the laughter dies. The next day, the reality hits him. He's moved out of their home. His kids, Lydia, Chris, and Natalie, stay with Miranda most of the time, and his world suddenly feels quiet, colorless, and small. Daniel's still himself, cracking jokes, putting on voices, trying to mask the pain, but inside, he's breaking. In court, the judge grants shared visitation, but Daniel must find steady employment and a proper apartment before he can see his kids more often. It's fair, but to him, it feels impossible. His whole life has revolved around them. Without them, every day feels hollow. Meanwhile, Miranda, though strong, isn't immune to heartbreak either. She loves her children fiercely, but she's also trying to rebuild her life. She lands a major client at work and begins seeing Stu Dunmire, a charming, steady man from her past, the kind of man who seems to have everything Daniel never did: reliability, maturity, control. When Miranda mentions she's hiring a housekeeper to help care for the kids, Daniel overhears, and suddenly, an idea strikes. A wild, desperate, genius idea. He rushes home, calling his brother Frank, a makeup artist in Hollywood. "I need you to make me a woman," he says. Frank stares at him blankly. "You've finally lost it." But Daniel insists. He explains his plan. He'll disguise himself as an elderly British nanny, apply for the job, and look after his own children in secret. Frank, half amused and half horrified, agrees. "You're crazy," he says, "but you've got the voice for it." Cue the transformation. Frank and his partner, Jack, get to work: wigs, prosthetics, makeup, padding, clothes. The process is long, hilarious, and surprisingly emotional. When it's done, the man in the mirror is gone. In his place stands an older woman with kind eyes, a soft Scottish accent, and a twinkle of mischief. "Hello?" she says, testing the voice. "I'm Euphigenia Doubtfire, dear, at your service." The next day, Miranda interviews a line of candidates. Daniel, now fully transformed into Mrs. Doubtfire, arrives, polite, sweet, and thoroughly convincing. When Miranda asks about her references, Mrs. Doubtfire casually drops names, voices, and stories so convincingly that even Miranda smiles. "When can you start?" she asks. And just like that, Daniel gets the job. At first, it's chaos. Mrs. Doubtfire doesn't know how to cook, can't clean properly, and nearly sets the kitchen on fire trying to make dinner. But with time, she learns. Daniel begins mastering the art of domestic life, vacuuming to Aerosmith, learning to bake, even balancing household chores with grace. More importantly, he reconnects with his children, this time as their caregiver, not just their playmate. Lydia confides in her. Chris starts to laugh again. Little Natalie adores her instantly. They talk, they laugh, they feel safe. And Daniel, behind the disguise, feels something profound. He's seeing his family in a new way, their struggles, their pain, their growth. He realizes that love isn't about being the fun parent. It's about showing up, quietly, consistently, every single day. But it's not all smooth sailing. Keeping up the double life is exhausting. Every day, Daniel switches between Mrs. Doubtfire and himself, sneaking in and out, changing clothes in public bathrooms, and trying not to slip up. He's constantly one step away from disaster. And that disaster comes closer when Miranda invites Mrs. Doubtfire to dinner, and brings along Stu. Daniel tries to keep his jealousy under control, but every time Stu walks in, charming and perfect, it stings. Mrs. Doubtfire smiles sweetly, but behind the kind face is Daniel's bruised heart. At the same time, Daniel's acting career finally picks up. He lands an audition for a children's television show, the kind of steady work that could change his life. But the dinner with Miranda and Stu is the same night as his big meeting. 2 lives, 2 worlds, both about to collide. As Mrs. Doubtfire prepares for dinner, the tension builds. Her disguise is perfect, her act seamless. But inside, Daniel knows he's playing a dangerous game. Because love and lies never stay hidden forever. It's the night that everything begins to unravel, the night when Daniel Hillard's 2 worlds collide. At the elegant restaurant Bridges, the air hums with chatter and clinking glasses. Miranda sits at a table with Stu, radiant, relaxed, a picture of a woman rediscovering joy. Across town, Daniel, or rather, Mrs. Doubtfire, is rushing through her new life with a mixture of excitement and panic. He's supposed to attend an important dinner meeting with a TV producer that could change his career. But there's one problem. It's the same restaurant. 2 identities. 1 man. 1 night. He arrives first as Daniel, in a suit, nervous but charming. The producer loves him instantly, and wants to create a new children's show with him as the host. Daniel's natural warmth and humor shine through, and for a moment, he feels like himself again, the man he was before the chaos. Then the waiter appears. "Mrs. Doubtfire, party of 3?" Daniel freezes. The color drains from his face. He excuses himself, muttering something about the restroom, and sprints away. Moments later, Mrs. Doubtfire glides through the restaurant doors, makeup perfect, wig secure, pearls gleaming. She joins Miranda and Stu at their table, all smiles and sass. Stu compliments her accent. Miranda laughs, telling stories. It's awkward, hilarious, and impossible to sustain. Daniel dashes between tables all night, changing outfits in the bathroom, reapplying lipstick, swapping voices mid-sentence. He drinks the wrong wine at the wrong table, calls the producer "dear," and barely keeps the charade alive. But then, during dessert, it all falls apart. Stu starts to choke, an allergic reaction. Without thinking, Mrs. Doubtfire leaps up, yells for help, and in the commotion, slams her hand on his back to dislodge the shrimp. The impact knocks off her mask. Silence. The entire restaurant stares. Miranda gasps. Her face goes white. And there, standing in the middle of the room, is Daniel, half made up, half exposed, caught between the worlds he's been trying to keep separate. "Daniel?" Miranda whispers. Her voice cracks, part shock, part betrayal. He can't speak. The disguise, the lies, everything he built comes crashing down. The children, horrified and confused, burst into tears. Stu stares, bewildered. The illusion is over. The next day, everything changes. The secret reaches the court. The judge listens patiently, his face unreadable. When it's over, he declares Daniel's actions reckless and deceptive, suspending his visitation rights until further review. Daniel tries to speak, to explain, that he wasn't trying to hurt anyone, that he just wanted to be near his kids, but the judge cuts him off. "You need help, Mr. Hillard. Not costumes." Outside, in the hallway, Miranda stands silently as Daniel packs away his things. "I can't believe you lied to me like that," she says quietly. "You made a fool of me." Daniel looks at her, tears brimming. "I wasn't trying to fool you. I was trying to love them." But she can't hear it yet. Not through the anger, the betrayal, The ache of being deceived by someone she once trusted. Weeks pass. Daniel starts the new children's show, Euphigenia's House, a colorful TV series where he plays a sweet, eccentric nanny who helps children navigate life with love and laughter. The irony isn't lost on him. He's still Mrs. Doubtfire, but now the whole world gets to see her. The show becomes a hit. Kids adore it. Parents love it. Daniel finds a rhythm again, but the ache remains. He misses his family, the dinners, the chaos, the noise. He misses being a father. Then one afternoon, Miranda stops by the studio. She's quiet, softer than before. She's been watching the show, watching him. Something about seeing him care for children again, even through a TV screen, makes her remember the man she married, the man she loved once. She tells him that the kids still talk about Mrs. Doubtfire, how much they miss her warmth. Daniel smiles sadly. She was me, Miranda. Just the best parts of me. They talk, really talk, for the first time in years. No disguises, no shouting. Just two people trying to understand where they went wrong. Miranda tells him she never stopped wanting him to be part of their lives, she just wanted him to grow up. Daniel admits that maybe losing everything was what it took to learn how much he had. When she leaves, there's no promise, no big reconciliation. Just a quiet understanding. Days later, Daniel receives a call from Miranda's lawyer. The custody agreement has been changed. He'll get to see the kids regularly again. Not because of the court, but because Miranda finally sees that love, even when it comes in disguise, is still love. That evening, Daniel goes to pick up the children. They run to him, arms wide, laughter echoing through the hallway. Lydia hugs him tight. Chris grins. Natalie whispers, "I miss you, Mrs. Doubtfire." He laughs softly. "You don't have to call me that anymore, sweetheart." Later that night, as Miranda and the kids settle into their new rhythm, they turn on the TV. On the screen, Mrs. Doubtfire is speaking to a young viewer who's written in, sad about her parents' divorce. "Dear," she says gently, "sometimes families don't stay together. It can be hard, and it can hurt. But if there's love, dear, real love, you'll always have a family. No matter what form it takes." Miranda watches, tears in her eyes. She looks at her children, safe, happy, loved, and then at the door where Daniel stands, waiting to say goodnight. He smiles. She smiles back. Because they both understand now that marriage may end, but family doesn't. The movie closes with Daniel driving away, sunlight streaming through the window. His voiceover, warm and tender, fills the air. "You're my family. No matter what happens, you'll always be my kids. Love you." And the music rises, bittersweet, full of hope. Because Mrs. Doubtfire isn't a story about deception. It's a story about devotion, about a father learning that love isn't about control, or perfection, or pretending. It's about showing up, even when it hurts. It's about staying present, no matter what form that takes. And that was Mrs. Doubtfire, 1993, a story about laughter, loss, and the love that survives change. If you enjoyed this narration, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Narrations, where stories are told with heart, humor, and humanity.